I just want to tell you that I love you. You guys are great. I have great sisters.
Of course.
I'm
We love
telling
you,
you.
sis.
I have great sisters. When I tell you, I have great sisters. You Negroes get on my nerves sometimes, but I love my sisters.
Of
All
course.
right.
Of course.
Get
We
off the
got you.
phone.
We got
I
All
got
right.
you.
Love you.
All right. Love you,
All right.
sis. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. 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 Oh, you guys heard me talking to my sister. I have an older sister. Her name is Joy, and um, she is a therapist, and she always calls me before she goes to work, and she and I have this dialogue. And so she's not just a professor; she also teaches psychology, and so she's a professor and she's a so she deals with the mind. And so I was just having my morning dialogue with her. I have amazing sisters. My sister, Dr. Kenya J. Miller, amazing sisters. Even whether you like it or not, um, Elder Michelle is my sister. When I'm not on the phone with my biological sisters, they're on the phone with her. And so we've adopted her into our sisterhoods because it's an amazing thing to have sisterhood. Whether you're biological or not, a sisterhood is really imperative. That's why I can't stand catty women and women who are going through this crazy notion and dialogue that you got to compete and you got to do all of those things, because sisterhood is something that you should cherish. You can have, I got to call her back because I got to give her the tea, the tea that we sip among sisters, and the camaraderie of it all. Hey, Pastor Q, the camaraderie of it all. It is such an amazing thing to have sisters. You have to cherish your sisters and cherish your sisterhood. A sisterhood, that means you can meet someone. Like when I met Michelle, there was a bond that we had that nobody can shake, because we had a camaraderie and association of sisterhood. And so when I brought her into the family, they said, no, she's perfect for the sisterhood. Trina, she's another one. Corinne, I have a plethora of sisters in sisterhood. So I'm so excited. To each and every one of you, I am not resting today. I am working because it is May the 2nd. And it is She Favor time. That means that I've got so much to do concerning She Favor. That's right. A bunch of women and some men, because men are saying, can we come? Can we come? And so I am not going to say no, but I am going to tell you, you could go to www.shefavor.org and you could try to get tickets. And if something is left, it'll happen. But I'm not going to say anything. But yeah, you might miss this one. And so we're coming to Atlanta, Georgia. I want to talk to you really quickly because most people really don't understand the power in which you possess in your mind. And so I love to have those dialogues with my sister concerning the mind, because a lot of people don't really understand the mindset. They don't understand how healthy your mind has to be. You want a healthy relationship, but you don't have a healthy mind. You want a healthy friendship, but you don't have a healthy mind. You want to do all things in excellence, but you have a toxic mentality. And you have to understand, there's my other sister going up the timeline, Pastor Christy Henderson. She'll be coming for Mother's Day. She'll be here. You got to hear her testimony because she's going to be speaking from the heart. Bring your mother this Sunday. And so you don't really understand how powerful your mind is. Your mind is something that you really don't take care of, and you should. Did you know that? You take care of your body. You take care of your finances. What's up, Corey? Where's Terry? You take care of all of those things, but you fail to take care of your mental health. My husband and I, we're just not regular pastors. We're pastors to tell you to have a Bible in one hand and a good psychiatrist in another. Because if you feed your spirit and your mind ain't right, then you might deem yourself unhealthy. Not just unhealthy to you, but maybe unhealthy to others. And so I'm going to ask you, how are you mentally? I'm going to ask you that hard question, because no one says, how are you doing mentally? The other day I went to the doctor for my checkup because I'm doing a whole life change. And I'm speaking about a life change right now. And even though the Lord Jesus Christ and crucified can change your life, it is up to you to have a lifestyle change. Your mind is depending on it. Now watch this. I went to the doctor because everyone knows, and this is no slight to anyone, and this is nothing. This is what the Lord told me. Remember, my sister's a psychiatrist, and she says, this is my truth. And so I was talking to Joy, and they begin to talk to me about my mind, and they said, because you had, I don't have it anymore. I had an aneurysm. And the Lord brought this aneurysm to my attention. And so what I did is I made a conscious decision. What I said was I have to renew not just my mindset, but my lifestyle. I have to do a 100% turnaround lifestyle because I want to live. Now I'm saying this to you. You got to do that. You've got to go and have a total lifestyle change inside that reflect your outside. And so here it is. I'm at the doctor, and my doctor, Dr. Vandergroot, she and I having this dialogue, and she says, you've lost 10 pounds. She said, but it's not the 10 pounds that you've lost. She said, you're holding to the weight loss. And I said to her, she said, tell me what you did. I began to tell her I gave up meat. This is something that everybody can't do, but I made a conscious decision that I'm giving up meat. And so I don't eat meat anymore. Now my husband is like, nah, I ain't about that life. So I did a lifestyle change. I gave up soft drinks. I don't want to drink soda. I drink nothing but water and lemon and water and cucumbers. And I added up my vegetables. And what I did is I began to change the way I consume things. Have you ever thought about what you consume could be killing you? Now, wait, hold on. Don't get upset because everybody likes a good cheeseburger, but I like the Impossible burgers now. I tend to like plant-based meat. And so what I did is I said, I got to do something different because I can't take a old mindset and stick it into a new body. I'm saying this. You can't take an old mindset and stick it into a new body or want a new body with an old way of doing things. So what I'm saying to you is you got to sit down and you got to make a list of the things that you want to change within yourself. If it's your health, a lot of people didn't like the post that I put up that you could have $200 bundles in your hair and $1,000 bag, but absolutely no life insurance policy. It doesn't make sense. Watch this. Joshua 1:7-8 says, it is a perfect example how you change your mindset. I'm reading it so I can break it down to you. Number 1, be strong and courageous. That's 1. Number 2, be careful to obey what you read in the word. Number 3, don't turn from the Bible left or right, but go steadfast. Number 4, do not let the law of the book depart from your mouth. Meditate on it day and night. Now I'm reading it where I looked it up, but I want you to read that today. Read Joshua 1:7-8. Your mindset has to change. Gigi, I love you. I'm praying for you. I'm saying this because you can't keep doing the same thing expecting different results. You can't keep saying I'm living the paycheck to paycheck and I'm just going to gamble on my rent and I'll pinch off of it and maybe I'll have it because I believe God. That doesn't make sense. God can do all things but fail, but have you ever thought that you fail in yourself because of the way you think? See, nobody wants a one-sided relationship and neither does God. You can't just run to him when times get hard. You got to stay in his face, consistency. On a perpetual basis, you have to say within your mind, I am not going anywhere because I realize my old way of thinking is not making sense at all. You can't stay in a toxic behavior or with toxic people and expect God to bless you. Toxic behavior is dangerous. It's not good for you mentally. It's not good for you physically. And it's not good for you financially. What I'm going to ask you today is renew your mindset. Something has got to change. Sometimes you have to look around and say, do I have friends? Do I have a sisterhood? Do I have a brotherhood? Who around me that I can depend on? And if you say nobody, maybe you need to look at you. Maybe you need to look at yourself and say, am I the toxic one in this situation? Am I the one that's not doing anything right? And perhaps I'm losing because I won't change my mindset. Now, if you're dating, because there are a lot of people who are dating, man, let me tell you, you can click tag and share, watch this later, but I was watching something because my husband, we're into this whole thing where we want to help single people, married people. We want to help people. But I said to him, I said, Fred, I wish that I can sit women down and I could have a one-on-one dialogue in dating. Because some women, I gotta tell you, you always talk about men are toxic. There's some toxic behaviors in you too. There's some women that she's just not gonna change. Someone said, oops, Leo just said it. There's some women that you are so stuck with one mindset and one way of thinking, and the stinking thinking is toxic. But everybody around you can see the toxic behavior, but you got some women and you need to change the way you look at life. And God knows, change the way you even look at yourself. Sometimes you just need to sit down with a good therapist. Back to the doctor. I want to bring this to your attention. As I begin to sit down, and if you're going to the doctor, anyone that got a doctor's appointment, just raise your hand or just give a thumbs up. If you got a doctor's appointment, I'm going to bring something to your attention because this is what I do. I pay attention to details. I'm a detail-oriented person. Watch this. Evie, what's up? If you have a doctor's appointment, I want you to pay attention. What the doctors have been petitioned to do is now ask you, are you depressed? They're petitioned now more than ever to say, how are you mentally? They don't just want to know about your biological health. They want to know about your mind. They want to know right now, because we just came through this horrible pandemic and we're coming together. We're trying to get this world moving as we could. There's no more new normal. It's just the new normal that life has presented us. But they're sitting down and they're going to ask you, how's your mental health? They want to know now. When doctors, watch this, when doctors before would just hit, are you been drinking your water? How you been doing? Have you been taking your medication? They set you down and they say, are you financially stable? Have you eaten? How's your mental health? Are you sleeping at night? They want to know. Because now the whole pandemic has caused depression and suicide to go at an all-time high. Someone put that number up. Because right now, so many people around the world are suffering mentally because they can't handle life. Life, as my husband and I said, it can shift and it's going to shift. But are you equipped to handle the shift? See, sometimes you really don't understand how much pressure you really are on. You could be under a lot of pressure. And sometimes you lashing out at people is because of the pressure. Sometimes you're looking at life and it's not moving as you planned it. Maybe you have to find another way how you look at it. Mental health is very imperative. Your spiritual life is good. Read Joshua 1:7-8. It tells you, please press forward. Look at what you're doing. But look at your mental health. You cannot take an old way of thinking and stick it in a new body. If I am going to maintain the good doctor's report that I keep on getting, I got to change the way I think. I am petitioning everybody. Pay attention to your mind. Never mind your body. We could all wear a good waist trainer, right? Men are wearing them too. We could all transform or metamorphose our body. Even men are wearing good lace fronts, right? It's just not us. We're all in this together. You could do everything. You could look good, baby. Oh, good morning, gorgeous. But if your mind don't match, you need a lifestyle change. I'm asking you. 280 million people are affected by depression. Thank you, Princess. You have to understand, yep, it's here for you, the suicide hotline. It's 1-800-273-8255. That's for you. There's someone at the end of the line that's going to talk to you. Now, you could be beautiful on the outside, but miserable on the inside. You cannot take a new body and stick it in an old way of thinking. That's called stinking thinking. I always say life gets better. You got to stick around to see the change, but we want you healthy enough to embrace it when it comes. I know there's a lot of people and you say that you need God to move, you need God to move, you need God to move. I need God to move. But wait. Suppose I told you God is waiting on your movement. He's already done his. God is waiting on your movement. He's already done his. He's a way-making God. Now, listen, if you don't believe in God, then this is not your segment of the message, because I don't tell people whether you get on here and you're an atheist or not. You know, Bill Maher, he said something that was so crazy because I watch politics. Don't mess up people's belief system, because sometimes that's all they have. And maybe because you don't believe, you don't mess it up for somebody else, because that's all that they have. So if you don't believe, let me believe for you. I believe God. I believe that God can do all things but fail, but sometimes we can fail ourselves. You have to stop. You got to say, I am going to petition myself. I'm going to petition over 1,300 people. It is time for you to have a lifestyle change. Your lifestyle changes how you live. What is your lifestyle? If you're living in a house and the house is causing you more pain than happy, get rid of it. Because your life is more important than four walls. If you have a house and you're going crazy trying to maintain it, the word of God said is the blessings of God make you rich and add no sorrow. And if you're sorrowful, then maybe you need to save your mindset and get rid of that house. You'll be so happy in a 2-bedroom household than 6 going crazy. Did I say that to you? Yes, because that's how much I care. It is called a lifestyle change. Now, you might not like it, but I'm going to say it anyway. My husband and I are not putting something on for the book of many faces. We really have a happy household. Our children are blessed. We are so honored that everything around us, we thank God. But even if something happens, we're still going to be a unit in a family because we've got the mastery of God's power. But the instructions that we've said, we refuse to live unhappy. And we refuse to let anybody come in our house or make us unhappy. That part. Let me help you with your lifestyle change. Do you know that sometimes the lifestyle change you need is to disassociate yourself from things inside your house that's making you depressed, that's making you miserable, that's making you unhappy? I don't care what it is and who it is. You have to make a lifestyle change. Your life depends on it. Now, everybody wishes to live a very happy life. I wish that, even the Bible says, I wish that no man would perish. But suppose I told you, some of it is because you don't want to be accountable. You don't want to be accountable and say, look, God, you've given me the blueprint to live this life and live more abundantly. But I refuse to follow it because my flesh wants what it wants. Keith, what's going on? What I want you to do is understand that the people on Facebook, they're going to go home. They're going to log off. In fact, they may block you. In fact, they may not like what you're going to say and just go on to somebody else. That's okay. That's their right. Nina Boone, thank God for you and your husband open up your restaurants. It is beautiful. Good job. How about I told you, when they log off, what does your house look like? When they log off, is it what you said it is? Is it the attaboys and the accolades that you want people to see? Because truth be told, when they log off, it's you and God. I really want you to understand, what does it look like when you log off? What does it look like when everyone goes home, when the party is over? Are you going to continue to keep the party started because in your household, everybody's happy? Here's another thing. If you're single and you're ready to mingle, as they say, and you're fellowshipping, I wish that I could sit women down and let them understand that you need a lifestyle change, because no one is going to bring toxic into their home, and it started with you. I wish that, this is my dream, I wish that I could be a dating coach, because I would point out the things that women are throwing off in the world of dating, just like brothers, because inside you're not healed, but outside you look good. Do you know that some people who are dating you mess it up by the words that come out of your mouth? It's not that you're saying anything that is vulgar. It's simply you don't know how to have a healthy conversation, because in your mind, this is what the problem is. Someone said, I'm walking in my newness. The word of God said, walk in the newness of light. And some of you are still walking in darkness, but put on a happy face. That's dangerous. If you're out here and you're dating, I'm going to challenge you. Can you have a conversation with another young lady that you don't know? A sisterhood, connect. Or if you're a brother and you're out here and you're trying to find that match, talk to another brother and ask, what did I say wrong? You'll be surprised that you are throwing out toxic conversation. You'll be surprised that you're taking venom between bites of chicken wings and you won't go on a second date. Yeah. I want you to be better. This is why I do what I do. I want you to be better because everybody deserves to be happy, but it starts with you. Everybody deserves a happy mindset, but it starts with yours. Everyone wants everything healthy, but your mind ain't ready to receive it. You need a lifestyle change. And this is why I took a moment out of my day doing she favor stuff to tell you, go to therapy. Go to therapy. My sister this woman speaks to people all over the world. And I'm blessed to have psychiatrists in my family and therapists in my family. I'm happy to have that. But suppose you don't. Right now, you could even do therapy online where you can download an app and have therapy right in your house. Take advantage of it. Now, your pastor may not tell you that. And I've had pastors say, what kind of pastor are you to tell people to go see a psychiatrist? You believe? No, I believe in holistic and holiness. Faith and works. It works. I am asking you, write down everything in your life. And don't you dare take new wine and stick it in old wineskins. Because you could have a new season with an old mindset and mess it up. You need a new mind for a new season. And God gave us therapists for a reason. I love you guys, and I want you guys to get better. If you gotta lose weight, if you gotta gain weight, it ain't up to nobody else. It's up to you. I'm going to say this to some people, then you can't really move around. I'm going to say this to you. Make it in your mindset that you're going to walk from one part of the house to the other. You're going to put on some good music, and you're just going to walk from one end to the other. Change the way you eat. And you're going to see, you're going to start to lose inches. Oh, applaud yourself for losing the inches. Because it works. It worked for me. Make it just say, I'm going to walk to the corner and back. I'm going to walk to the corner. Whatever the doctor tells me to do, I'm going to do it. You got to renew your mindset to get a new body. That's where it starts. I love you all. If you're depressed, if you're sad, you have to understand. Gigi said it. Self-diagnosis is important the way I'm going to tell you. But don't say, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No. Get you a team of people to come together. But you got to diagnose yourself. You know what happens at night when you get off the book of many faces. You know exactly what happens when no one is around. You're crying. You're unhappy. You can't stop crying. You can't turn it off. You don't sleep. So that self-diagnose tells you there is something wrong. So everyone, what I want you to do, I need you to diagnose yourself. I want you to say, am I happy? Am I crying? What's going on? Am I happy in my body? Am I healthy in my mind? What's going on? And once you write down that you found something wrong, you have diagnosed that something's got to change. My mind. You cannot have a new season with an old mindset. You can't have an old mindset in a new season. They both have to match. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that happens when you decide it's time. It's time for you to get a healthy mind. Because it works. It works. It works. It works. It works. It works. Yeah, it works. I'm reading someone's comment. I love you guys. I want you guys to do yourself a favor. Take a walk today. Inhale like you're smelling the roses. Exhale like you're blowing out the birthday candle. In fact, I'm getting ready to finish what I'm doing and go take a nice walk. If you live in a toxic environment, change it, baby. Change it. You are so worthy of change. Sometimes when you sit down and you reflect on what you was and who you used to be, it'll bring tears to your eyes. When I sit back and I think about how miserable that I was, and I was preaching all over the world, miserable. I was, if you knew how dangerously depressed I was, a lot of you would applaud me right now. And I don't need your applause if it ain't pure. I am a witness to tell you, I know what it is to be depressed. If you knew that I too was a woman that tried to jump out of a window at 450 Clinton Avenue, I'm not afraid to tell it. You could see change is possible. If you knew that I was in a marriage and I was miserable, depressed, I could tell you some things and you will go somewhere and you will say, shame on anyone that says anything negative or derogatory. But God. But when he put the right thing in my path, I had to be mentally stable enough to walk it. And if you're not mentally stable enough to walk when God creates a way for you to accept it, you got to go and let somebody walk with you because you're not healthy enough to do it yourself. I love you, and I desire that everybody that clicks, tag, and share, follow this page, set your notification, and watch us on YouTube. But my desire is just like the Father said, that everybody live a healthy mental life and prosper. If it ain't working, renew your mind and make something else work better, because it's going to happen. Great is here, but it's up to you to receive it. I love y'all. Bye-bye.